Get the old shipper.
Texting. Welcome back to the Sack. Happy Man Up Monday.
I forgot it was a Man Up
It's
Monday.
a Man Up Monday. Here we are in the mid-Sack. A nice, comfortable night. Comfortable temperatures.
It is. It's
perfect
really,
fall night after that dreaded rainstorm yesterday.
I'm in a hoodie and sandals. And for anybody who knows good weather,
yeah,
a hoodie and sandals is like
perfect. You got a little bit of everything.
Right.
Got the breeze right when you need it.
Exactly.
Just enough heat. You can walk around sandals. It's so
still warm enough to keep your feet out.
You just want your toes out there
That's
enjoying
right.
the.
That's right.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
that's where we are here in the mid-Sack, where the air is always crisp. That is the redoubtable one, Tom Izzo. I am the highly questionable one, Arjun Milaccio. Welcome back to
Jackie and Bailey.
D in the know. Are they out there?
Caw.
Yep. The neighbors out for a nice walk late night. That's how good the weather is, folks. Okay. So welcome back to IDD. That is I Don't Disagree. Man Up Monday. Hey, segment one. Hey, NFL football. I'll bet you caught a game or two yesterday, and you should have, because there were Donnybrooks all over the yard, all over, and upsets. Well, I don't even know if they're upsets anymore, Tom. Can we call them? I don't know that these are really upsets. I think it's the perception of what some of these teams used to be.
See?
And people have to start realizing that ain't your dad's Jets anymore.
Right. And that's not your older brother's Green Bay Packers.
Hells no. No, it is not.
That's equally what they have to start realizing.
You're right.
A lot of those teams that come with that name recognition are not necessarily still on that level.
And there are players we have to start losing. Hey, he's going to love and hate this. Daniel Jones does not look like a gas station to me. Okay.
A gas station?
Yeah, a waste stop on the way to your real destination. He's just kind of you got to fill up. Let's pull over real quick. Oh yeah, pull in the Danny.
I thought you meant like a shitty old gas station.
No, but he's not this destined to be this journeyman backup, like,
dude, I don't hate that.
Not good enough, but he's not. He's not that dude, right? Anyway, he's starting to look like that dude. And to Rex Ryan's credit, he defended this man.
Rex Ryan.
Because, no, I don't always agree with Rex, but he stood up for this kid, and he said everything that was factual, which is what I've been saying for months. The kid's he's had 4 coaches, 3 offenses. He's never had a number one. And finally, someone got in front of a camera and said it to the world, okay? Yeah. Not named me, okay? But this guy has a football background, whereas I didn't coach in the NFL, so he's got more clout than I do, obviously. But he was saying pretty much what I've been saying. Yeah, this kid, and it came up twice. It came up on 2 shows. Once on Get Up, and then it came up again on First Take. And I'll tell you what, and Rex Ryan wasn't the only one defending him either. So Danny Dimes, and the other one, oh my God, I just had his name on the tip of my tongue. Zach Wilson. This kid's looking like the number 2 pick. Now, doesn't look shy to me. Doesn't look afraid to pull the trigger to me.
Is he, though?
I don't think he is. I never thought he was.
No, but I'm saying, what were his numbers this weekend?
He had
I don't even think he had 100 yards passing.
He didn't, but he didn't have to, because the Packers usually just olay and let them run for 300 yards. I wouldn't drop back either if I saw holes that big and drive a car through.
His rookie running back, Breece Hall, was...
That kid's another one.
He just ran over the Green Bay Packers.
I am wondering if he was floating out there in fantasy football, how many people put claims on him today? If he wasn't already drafted.
No, he was drafted.
Was he drafted? Did he come highly rated in the...
DJ was telling me about him at our fantasy draft.
Okay, so he was known, because I never heard of him.
Yeah, either did I.
And I
don't follow college football.
I don't follow the Jets. So it's like, because they haven't mattered in a decade. Okay, so 12 years to be exact since Rex left. But I mean, the bottom line is, this kid, they were talking about it. And when they got, I went back over his numbers today. I'm like, this isn't a one-time thing. He's been doing this all season.
Yeah.
And, the Jets are not your father's Jets.
They just got like a lot of like really above average athletes.
A lot.
On both sides of the ball.
They have drafted well. Okay? They look like they got a lot of contributors, a lot of guys that are impact players now, and they're a young team. They are a young team. Mm-hmm. They're not. If they keep this together and add a few, this could be for a long. I'll tell you that this AFC East is starting to look like murderer's row. Tua Tagovailoa is going to come back next week. I pray he's going to be all right. Apparently he's cleared every hurdle to come back, but they were going to say minimum 3 weeks. And so he's looked good in practice, so hopefully he gives it a go. But if you look at the AFC East,
how about your Patties?
Well, this is the other thing.
No. What we really need to talk about is there a QB controversy in Foxborough with
The problem with that,
my dog Bailey Zappi?
The problem with that is Bailey Zappi did not face Lamar Jackson, and he didn't face what's his name there? I mean, well, he did do pretty well against what's his nuts there, Aaron Rodgers. But they also ran the ball for $167. The thing is,
They lost to the
they lost in
Packers,
overtime. That was the game I blew my gasket over. But they haven't lost since. And I said since that game, I said after they lost that game they could win 6 in a row. Well, they've won 2 now, and in convincing fashion. So the QB
So would
controversy.
you keep Bailey in there?
If Mac Jones is not 100%,
I'm talking about if he's 100%.
no. I'll tell you why. Because Mac Jones was not playing with the hand that Bailey Zappa is playing with. Meaning the play calling has changed drastically in the past 3 weeks.
Okay.
The tight ends, who I've been screaming about, you want to know what their numbers were on Sunday? Their numbers on Sunday were better than the entire season, and one of them caught a touchdown pass targeted in the red zone, which he's probably sick of me saying.
So the change in play calling has nothing to do with change in quarterback.
I don't know, but I always thought the play calling was the problem, not the quarterback in the first place.
I agree. We were yelling about that.
So what
3 weeks.
I said, starting with the Green Bay game, and I said this to you at that Monday show, was that Matt Patricia for 2 quarters actually looked like he knew what the hell he was doing,
Yeah.
and then it became again. Then he looked really good in the Detroit game. That was and now it's 2 games where he's looked. The play calling has gotten exponentially. Case in point, the tight ends.
The tight ends, yeah.
I mean, this is what they literally. This Cleveland defense had no shot yesterday because they had no idea how, where, and when the Patriots were going to hit them. And the Patriots have all those buttons. And yesterday, they literally pushed for the first time every damn one of them, and they walked away with a victory when they really didn't play. So they didn't play great. They played good. I would say they played great. But Cleveland screwed up, a lot enough for them to win, 21-0.
Yeah.
But the point was, the Patriots, they had long drives, they had balance, and this Zappy kid, who is a good quarterback, looked like Tom Brady his first year. I mean, literally 70% of his passes, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no mistakes, every throw on the button, looking up, reading the defense, the play, everything. I'm like, this is ridiculous. They got 2 guys like this? All right? But people keep forgetting Mac Jones took them to the playoffs last year, and your sample size is 2.5, 3 games with Matt Patricia as his coordinator. And everybody was saying before the season started, why the hell is Matt Patricia calling the plays? So everybody knew it, but now suddenly, because Matt Patricia finally is starting to learn his craft, now it's it's all the change of the quarterback.
That makes sense.
It's not the change of the quarterback. And I'm not trying to impugn what Zappa has done. The kid's played well. Okay? Zappy, Zupa,
Frank
whatever.
Zappa.
Zimma, Zuma.
No, I think,
But
you're right.
Mac
You're
Jones
right. It should be Mac Jones.
Mac Jones was not the problem. Okay, by the way, you also had all these turnovers. Now, his interceptions were a problem. They were not the problem. Okay, the play calling in the red zone was the reason for half those interceptions. Why were you calling the plays you were calling? Why weren't the tight ends involved? Because the teams that he was throwing picks on couldn't guard either one of your 2 tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they weren't in the game plan. But then yesterday, they were all over the place. And Cleveland never knew what hit them.
I know you're talking about
So, no.
the AFC East.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins had a pretty bad loss, I thought, on Sunday.
Yeah, they're playing with their 3rd-string quarterback.
I know.
So
But that's a crappy loss. They're better than 3-3, and it kind of sucks that they're 3-3.
Well, if Tua does come back this week, expect them to start winning again. Because we all know if he played the last 3 weeks, they don't lose 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Did anybody here believe that? No,
No
not the
way.
way he was playing. No.
And who did they lose to?
They lost to Minnesota, who's 5-1.
Right, that was this past
That was,
weekend.
they're 5-1. They lost, where were they? They lost at Cincinnati when he got hurt.
When he got hurt.
And
okay.
that was Cincinnati's now 3-2.
That was an ugly game.
And they were down 1 point. It was 7-6
Yeah.
when he went down in the second
I
quarter.
feel like they've won. They've been in these games.
They have
too.
been in them.
Except did they
The
get
Jets.
stomped last
The
week?
Jets stomped them.
Yeah.
And the Jets are 4-2.
Right. The Jets are showing.
The Jets are showing that's no
if
fluke.
if you're not scoring points, you're going to get stopped.
Well, if you saw what the Jets did yesterday in Lambeau Field, you know that what they did to Miami was no fluke. The Jets are for real.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm a diehard Pats fan. I'm here to tell you, the Jets are for real. The AFC East is by far the best division in the NFL.
No
It is
way,
loaded.
by far.
By far. The Buffalo Bills will stomp anybody in this league right now. The Miami Dolphins actually beat them by 2 points.
Will the Bills?
Okay,
The Bills stomp the Eagles?
Yes,
I'm
they
asking.
will. Yes, they will.
You
I'll
think
tell you
so?
what. Yes, they will. I'll tell you why. Because as good as Jalen Hurts is, he ain't no Patrick Mahomes. And yesterday, the Buffalo Bills held Patrick Mahomes on his field to 20 points.
But the Eagles are better than
The Kansas
than the
City Chiefs?
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
Yes.
Really, who have the Eagles beaten? Outside of Minnesota. And Dallas with a second string quarterback. At home. But both those big wins were at home. You look at the Eagles' schedule and you look at the Bills' schedule, it isn't even close.
Who have the Bills beat?
They won at Baltimore. Okay, they won.
So,
They,
I mean,
they
the
won
Giants
at
beat the
they won at
Rams.
KC. They won at Baltimore, at KC. Oh, and they went out to LA and stomped the Rams 38-10.
The Rams ain't shit this
They're
year.
3-3. They're the worst team. You're right, Tom. That's the worst team they've played.
No, I'm not saying. Okay, so I don't know. Who has Philly played? Let's see.
I just told you who their two biggest wins were. Dallas at home against, what's his name, the backup, and then Minnesota at
Cooper
home.
Rush.
Minnesota, who's never done a damn thing at home with Mr. Kirk, average run-of-the-mill kind of.
Minnesota's 5-1, but you're saying the
They're
Rams
big.
at 3-3 are
I'm saying the Rams are just won the Super Bowl.
right. But now we're going with name recognition versus how you're playing. This
I don't know
season.
how the Rams are going to end up. I just know that right now they're in
Right.
first place. They're tied for first place in their
Okay,
division.
but-
Whether you think that's good or not, that's where they are.
Right, but okay, but whether you think the Vikings are good or not, they're 2 games better than them.
They haven't played the schedule they played. That's what I'm saying. The one real team that Minnesota played, Philly, they got stomped. The one real team. Green Bay's 3-3. What's Green Bay? I'd say they're average. They're an average team. They're not what they were going to be. And we called that, by the way. That's another one.
Average
we called.
team with a great quarterback.
With a great quarterback. Average team, great quarterback. So it's a little above
So they're a
average.
little better
Slightly
than
above
average.
average. Okay, all right, but that's all right. So that's the thing. You look at who these teams, who Buffalo has gone
So
through.
Philly beat Detroit, which is not an impressive win.
No, but
But
they
beat 'em.
They beat them.
Detroit,
The Redskins.
they beat them.
They beat the Redskins. Yeah, it was 24-8.
Oh, that's right. They kind of stomped
up here.
them.
They stomped them. They
Yeah,
beat,
but I don't know.
they beat Minnesota.
The way
at
they're
home.
playing, I think they would beat Kansas City.
Okay, they play the same way Buffalo does. They're just not as good at it.
Who
Buffalo,
plays the same way?
Philadelphia has the same type of running attack as Buffalo.
They're
difference-
better. They're better than Buffalo in the
No,
running
Buffalo
attack.
throws more because Buffalo has the better quarterback. So the balance is there. Philly doesn't throw as much as Buffalo does.
Because their
they-
running attack is better.
No, Buffalo throws because they can.
No,
Their
that's-
best weapon is their quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The running game for the
Yeah.
Eagles is better than the
But
Bills'
Buffalo's
running
running game is actually very good. Statistically, it's
Yeah, I'm
very
not
good.
saying it's not, but
It's
the
just
Eagles have a better running game.
because they do it more. That's why the numbers bear that out.
They pass more, so they have a better passing game.
They have a better quarterback. I don't think anyone's going to argue who's a better quarterback between
Yeah.
Hurts and
but
Allen.
Hurts is
Right
a
now,
better
Allen's the best-
runner. Hurts
right-
a better runner than him, I think.
Did you see who the guy Allen hurdled yesterday? The guy he hurdled at 6'5", 245 pounds?
I'm
Tell me
not
again.
saying he's bad.
I haven't seen
saying
Jalen Hurts hurdle
Jalen Hurts
anybody.
is a better running quarterback.
I don't think he is.
I don't know.
I don't think he is. I think the numbers. I think he is.
You want to look up rush yards?
Yeah.
Okay.
And look at average because attempts has something to do with this. Look at average per carry.
So,
I
so
thought-
what you're telling me is that
Well, if someone-
Jalen Hurts is going to have more rushing yards.
If he has more attempts, he probably will.
Okay.
Well, then that's how you look at average. That's what are they averaging per carry? That's the only way you can equalize it.
You feel it coming.
I feel it coming.
You feel.
Are we gonna
it
sing Phil? Are we gonna do the drum solo? I wish I could do that drum solo right now. Of course, if I tried that, I'd break everything on the set. By the way, did anybody notice the purple pumpkin? We gotta give him a name, Tom.
Purple pumpkin.
We didn't give him a name.
I don't know.
Cheerio?
Oh dear. You had to go there.
Private joke.
The Nutri-Grain Cheerios.
You gotta admit that's funny.
The Nutri-Grain Cheerios are actually purple. Let's see.
Are they really?
Yeah, the box is purple.
Oh, but the Cheerios not.
No. Come on. We know what a purple Cheerio is.
Yes, that's Cheerio. That's actually a perfect name for him. Or her, whatever. It. So,
Them.
what is Cheerio? Is Cheerio... That's not a masculine or feminine. Was it masculine? Cheerio?
Is it masculine?
Well, what is the feminine? Well, Cheerio could be like...
And let it be a masculine child.
But could Cheerio...
Do you remember what that's from?
Yes, I do.
Who's that?
That's what's his name? It's Luca Brasi. The Godfather.
May it be a masculine child.
That's Luca.
When he was trying to say,
Don Coliano.
and may your
I
child
know
be a
you're
masculine
you're a
one.
busy man, so I'm gonna leave you now. But I bless you and your family on
God,
this.
why can't I
one
find
that
a
is-
rushing? Okay, here we go.
What?
2020. My God, this takes me way too long.
How did we get into damn Luca Brasi anyway? Where did
And may it be a masculine
Where
one.
did that
Because you
come
started
from?
wondering about whether or not the word Cheerio was masculine.
I was
or
wondering if we
feminine.
should name the pumpkin Cheerio.
Whatever. Okay,
Anyway,
2022.
so we're trying to figure out
2022.
what's his stats rushing. We're
He's
looking at
got
Hurts.
293 yards rushing.
Okay, how many attempts? Should be
77. He's at just under 4 a carry.
Okay, so that's good.
He's got 6 TDs.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry.
As
so
long as 26.
Okay, so he's just under 4 carries, 6 rushing touchdowns. Okay. Okay, now flip over to Allen, see what he does.
Where you at, Joshua?
Joshua.
So I kind of think that Josh is going to have more per carry.
Right. Sing it. Anyway, I'm not knocking Hurts as a runner, by the way. He's one of their best. He's an MVP candidate, as he should be. He's having a hell of a year. He's having his best year ever. And Alabama quarterbacks, hey, what a surprise. So at least recently. So I mean, look, the thing is, this conversation started with the AFC East and the 5-1 teams. We've been all over the map here with football because we should be. By the way, if you still look at that Buffalo and Casey game, that game came down to 2 games. It came down to 2 Patrick Mahomes mistakes. One at the end of the first quarter where he threw the pick in the end zone, and the interception at the end of the game. So that Buffalo defense forced him into not 1 but 2 big mistakes that really were the difference in the entire game. Because both offenses rang up 400 yards against these other defenses. So it wasn't about they weren't moving the ball. But when those defenses had to tighten up and stop them, one team made 1 more play than the other. It literally came down to that. That's how evenly those 2 teams are.
One more play?
Yeah, one more. But anyway.
Just one?
Just one?
What, are we on dial-up over here? What's going on?
You can't get Mr. Allen stats?
No, it's just so damn slow.
Anyway, you give us real quick while I'm looking it up. What do you like most about the Giants this year? What's you surprised about the most?
I think what I'm surprised most with the Giants, and this is going to seem like real in the weeds, their efficiency on 3rd down on offense. It's insane. And that's I think an improvement by Danny Dimes. I saw them get in one drive, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 16, 3rd and 5. I think they scored on a 3rd and goal. I don't. When the Giants have been bad these past few years, it seems like 3rd down on defense and offense is always kind of like a given. That on offense they weren't going to get it, and on defense they were going to let the team get a 1st down.
All right. So what was his numbers?
So to see them flip that.
All right. So what was Hurts' numbers again? Rushing.
I don't know.
All right. Well, but he ran for how many yards?
I don't know.
Well,
What?
Josh Allen, 47 attempts, 257 yards rushing. He is the leading Buffalo rusher. He's the leader. He averages...
So he's got less attempts, more
yards. And he averages 5.5 yards per carry.
Yeah. So I'd say Jalen Hurts is definitely better.
People say we're married. That's a comment my wife would make right there. Yeah, that would be it right there. Yeah. So
yeah, well, I stand corrected.
Anyway, moving on. The bottom line is the Giants 3rd down. No, but that's a great point.
It is.
That's why my when you said that I was like, who are you? And what have you done with my friend? You sounded like
I watched the Giants.
You sounded like an NFL analyst because you pulled out a stat that only an NFL analyst would have had the balls to pull out on camera. Because it was accurate.
No, I'm just watching.
Because it was accurate. No, but that's the thing. You picked that up just by watching the game.
What do you think I am?
I'm just saying.
I'm some nitwit that doesn't analyze the game.
Did I say you were a nitwit?
No, you're surprised that I made a smart comment.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised you went that deep.
How dare
that doesn't mean
you?
No, how dare you? It was great. I was not expecting that. I was expecting you to say something like red zone defense, or
that's the first time on IDD that you've asked me a sports question.
Ever?
Yes.
That's not true. I've asked you baseball
never
questions.
asked me.
I've asked you baseball questions all the time.
You almost never ask my opinion on this show.
That's not true.
I have to be the one that asks questions. That's why you're so surprised that I gave you a take.
That's not.
It is.
You're telling me
I want to talk about marriage, folks. Look at this right here.
You telling me I've never asked you. We're gonna go back and
asking me one question in fucking 3 months.
I'm
going, God, I've never heard you talk about it like that.
I've never asked you a baseball question.
Not like that.
I've never asked you who's the best lineup or who's this, who's that, and you're giving me rattling me off this, that, and the other, and you haven't given me your opinion or a take.
No, we don't do that much.
We've been talking about baseball. What are you talking about?
We don't do the question thing. We just look.
So is this your way of saying?
We just look at
I would really appreciate just asking you one more question every now and then.
No, that's
because I'll do it.
No, that's how a conversation works.
You give me your opinion on everything,
right?
On the air.
I do.
Well, I don't have to ask you.
Yes, you do.
You're not shy about giving me your opinion.
You?
Why? I'm going to give you my opinion whether you ask me or not.
That's how you make a conversation flow. You talk to the other person.
Are you saying we don't talk to each other?
No, we talk to the screen.
I'm looking at you.
Right, but no, you're not. You're looking at the screen.
I'm right here on the screen.
Exactly.
I'm
You're
looking
at the screen.
Because you're on the screen.
Right, but what if I'm over here? You still looking at me?
Yeah, you're right there.
But are we still connecting?
What's that other thing on the back of your ear?
Are we connecting?
Yeah, well, not if you turn your head that way, no.
Right.
Well, that's that way.
Exactly. We're like
That's
this.
not this.
We are literally like this.
This is what you just did. You just did this.
Right.
I didn't do that.
Right. You did this.
No, I did this.
Okay, what if I did this? It's the same fucking thing.
You look like the cover of a book.
It's the same thing. Look. Yeah, so
Wait,
I mean,
I gotta think of a time.
let me tell you.
Can you do that face again?
Let me tell you about the Mets. I mean,
you look
they
like
really had a
that
tough
is.
end of the season.
I got to take a picture of this. Don't look. You're gonna ruin it. Look that way. It's literally that's even better. The cover of a book. It's like The World at Crisis with Tom Izzo. Better Solutions by Tom. Your Life is Not Over by Tom Izzo. Life After Baseball with Tom
The end is
Izzo.
just the beginning. With Tom Izzo.
Tom Izzo.
Beyond the Yellow Brick Road.
You have like I didn't even realize
Tom
that.
Izzo.
You know, you need to look away more often. You have a natural, like a portrait face. You do. You have a face that you could literally.
The man's commenting on my profile.
It's exceptional. What's your problem?
Nothing wrong with it.
You shouldn't be upset by this.
I'm not.
I
I'm actually
think-
shocked because
I think-
I have the Italian, like the big guinea,
What?
cheeks. So
Do I have big guinea cheeks?
No.
What are you saying? I'm not guinea?
No. There's, you get
Well, how
different
come I don't
features.
have 'em and
You
you-
got the big guinea nose. I got the big
I
guinea
do.
cheeks.
That's true.
Right, like so. There's features within ethnicities. That you
I
don't
think my cheeks are pretty
you
big.
don't always get all of them.
I think my cheeks
You
are.
have more definition because you don't have the weight on top. Okay,
I'm
I got
tall.
the big Ginzo cheeks. I don't have a lot of definition. So when you compliment my profile,
When you
I'm
turned
shocked
like that?
and delighted.
When you turned like that, it looked like you were standing on a cliff overlooking the ocean, and the sun was.
Tomorrow we set sail.
And it was like
on a new
it was like
a
dusk.
new
It was
dawn.
like dusk before the next of a big journey.
They call
Or
me
big-
a Medigo
or a big adventure that Tom's about to lead, a quest, if you will, a quest for sports bliss with Tom Izzo.
I already live sports bliss.
That's true. You kind of do.
Well, no, sports bliss would be like Mets winning the World Series
Series.
every year.
Well, no, but if you had like say in the same year, you had like the Mets and the next one. Would that not be like a glorious
Okay.
year?
No, I'm not gonna tangent into that. I was about to tangent into baseball, and I'm not.
Don't do it.
Okay, I caught myself.
You did. I'm impressed.
Now let me bring us back to football.
Okay.
Giants third down efficiency, great. That's gonna get boring if we talk too in depth about that.
No. But it's something people don't know. The average fan, they're like, well, where's the cover? But then when you explain it, they look at the back and they're like, oh shit, that makes sense.
Well, it's one of those things where if you want to hold on to the ball for a long time in a football game, you have to be good on third down.
Absolutely. You have to
On
move
both
it.
sides of
Yeah.
it. So when you're on offense, because every couple plays you see a third down, whether it's 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 12. You got to figure out a way to convert on those because when you do, the clock keeps ticking on their defense, and your defense is resting.
Is it fair to say?
That's why they're a second half team.
No, that's good. No, I agree. 100%.
That's why they're a second half team.
Yeah, I watched it. I agree.
The other team's defense is
My
gas.
question for you is this: being that you're a baseball guy, would you liken third down efficiency because it's so hard? Like the average in the NFL is like maybe 38 or 37% on third down. So it's hard, to his point, to sustain drives.
2 strike, 2 out.
Yeah. So would you say that if say the Giants are converting 40% on third down for the season, that's like the equivalent of hitting 400 in baseball because it's so hard to do because most teams don't do it.
Well, it's like the equivalent of hitting 400 with 2 strikes and 2 outs with runners in scoring position, right? It's like, okay, it's very similar in the fact that, like, let's say you got a man on second, you're at bat, the pitcher's got you 0-2, right? With the way they could stop the inning, but no, you slap a single to left field, you drive in the run, you keep the inning going. It's just like that.
So that's what, This is the cool thing about when you're a sports fan. You see where these things coincide and where they make sense. So with football, third down efficiency is so hard, and that's why. Because to be a great offense, you've got to be able to. Not everybody can throw the quick 60-yard bomb. Not everybody has
That's
that
right.
kind of personnel. You've got to be able to have an 8, 10, 12 play drive and to sustain them. Like if the average team gets 10 possessions in a game, okay, call it 10 or 11. Okay, if you score on 4 drives, you potentially have 28 points if it's 4 touchdowns. Okay, and the average NFL score is somewhere between 26 and 25, whatever per game. So if you score 4 out of 10, that's very efficient because it's so hard to sustain drives. So for the Giants, particularly in the second half, here's another fun stat for you. Dan Orlovsky, to his credit, good for you, Dan, brought this up today. The Giants in the second half this year have outscored, who do you say? He said Mike Vrabel, Jim Harbaugh, and who was the other great coach, or at least record-wise? But he basically said 55-19. The Giants in the second half against these opponents.
Yeah.
They've outscored them 55-19.
That's crazy.
When you think about the names on that list, you look at the Giants, how does that happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to look up the stat. I think
that's coaching. One, because this guy can coach. Right now, everybody's saying
this is funny though because it's not that good.
what is it? It's not that good.
It's not that good.
At the end of the day, he exaggerated.
That's hilarious.
At the end of the day, there's a bit of
it's 38%.
That's good. If
But
you're
that's 18th in the league.
Are they tied with anybody?
I mean, Minnesota's 0.2 ahead of them.
Okay.
I mean, the best in the league is Buffalo.
Of course.
At 52%, which is insane.
That's insane.
Kansas City,
Number 2.
which is 50%.
Yeah, those two.
Cincinnati, 47%. How are they?
They're 3-2. They've actually righted the ship.
Atlanta's 4.
Man, it's
Nuts.
tied with Tampa Bay for first
Seattle is 5
place.
with Geno.
Seattle is tied for first place with the Browns.
My God.
Think about these teams.
But I hope this is offense. Philly is 6.
Yep, makes sense.
Rams 7. So
Yep, first place. I'm saying.
number
These-
7, the
look at-
Rams are at 42%,
Yeah,
which is not a hell of a lot more than 38%.
not really at all. It's one more possession, basically.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I guess
So if they
4
were-
out of 10 is pretty good.
Well, if only 2 teams are at 50% are converting in the whole league out of 32,
Yeah.
that tells you how
So-
hard it is. And then the next best team is like 47, and then 42. It starts to drop significantly.
Let's see what the Giants' third down conversion percentage was last year. 24.
That's a jump.
36%.
That's a jump.
Well, not 24%.
No, but it's 24 to 38, right?
No.
36. Well, I thought they were 38.
38 to 36.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
quite. It's over 10%.
24th in the league.
That's over a 10% jump from last year.
38% to 36%.
I thought they went up. They were 24%. You said.
No.
What did you
They're
say?
24th in the league.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay.
2020. This is hilarious. This is so good. Oh my God. So then they were 29th in the league in 2020.
So they've
Still
gone-
at 36. So they're only 2% better, and I'm watching these games thinking, my God,
That's
this
all
is
it
the
takes.
biggest difference.
Listen.
2%.
If you think about
I'm a sham and a fraud.
If you think about-
basically the drives I've watched, they've been converting third downs. That's because I've only watched 2 games
well, they're 5-1.
because we haven't seen them.
They were 3-1 before you started watching.
I still stand by what I said. Third down conversions, bitches.
But no, they are converting it at a good rate.
Yeah, 38%.
That's not wrong. I'm just saying that
It might be a niche fact.
But the bottom line is it's a factor because teams that lose don't do that.
Yeah.
There's a common thing there. It is relevant to the outcome of a football game.
Yeah.
So my thing is, and the thing about with the Patriots, it's the same thing. If you look at what they've done the last 2.5 weeks in terms of play calling and what they've done on third down because of their play calling, because now they're starting to realize we have all these weapons. Why the hell? If we're going to pay them, we might as well use them.
Yeah.
And they're starting to use them all. And now, look at anybody will tell you this. You don't have to know football to know this. If you make a defense have to cover the entire field, okay, you're more likely to score than if they only have to cover half of it or a third of it or something. Because there's one side, like in the Giants' case, where they don't have a true number 1 wideout. That makes what the Giants are doing all the more amazing because they don't have a guy that makes them back off the line of scrimmage. So what Saquon Barkley is doing this year is remarkable given what he's seeing for defenses. Yeah. Nobody's coming out against the Giants in a base nickel or a base dime.
Nickel.
That's what a base nickel, because a lot of teams play base nickel now against Kansas City, Buffalo. They play base teams that can run and they play base nickel. But with the Giants, they're not doing that. They're playing a 6-2, a 5-3. They're not doing that shit. because they're not a threat to go over the top, and the Giants are still doing what they're doing.
Still.
Which proves one of the greatest lines ever by, of all people, Nick Nolte in a basketball movie,
Blue Chips.
Blue Chips, where he said, I'll go over and I'll tell Bob Knight what we're going to do right now. Because it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. And that was back in 1992. So that's how long ago that was.
Is it Nick Nolte or Gary Busey, the one that's like all cracked out?
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey's the one that's all... But I always got Nick
And
Nolte and Gary Busey confused.
I love them both as actors because they have that. They both have that.
The crazy face?
Yeah, but they're like they got it in here, but then when they have to be a prick, they can just flip a switch and be a prick, and they don't even think twice about it. It's a rare talent. It's a rare talent. They both
acting though.
It is. They're both good at it. I'm saying they could both. And it's like, if you saw Gary Busey in Point Break with Keanu Reeves, like he was underrated in that movie. Because he was perfect as
I don't
his
think I've
guy.
ever watched that full movie.
It's a great movie. Point Break is a great movie.
Is one of the guys named Tommy or Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah.
The name Johnny Utah. Remember that was the great line. He goes, Utah, give me two.
I told you, I don't think I've seen the whole thing.
Watch it again. Such a good movie. It'll make you want to learn how to surf.
But whenever I go back and watch those movies,
You have to be stoned.
they're never as good as people make them out to be. Because I'm not in that time watching it.
You don't have to be.
You do.
Why?
You don't know what it's like to watch it from not in that time.
You ever see Psycho?
Yeah, not that great.
Yeah, I wasn't born in that time.
It's not that great.
Actually, it was one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. In terms of suspense. He did it with very little blood and gore. The suspense. They called Alfred Hitchcock the master of suspense. Psycho personifies
There was a time in my life when I believed that. But I've watched scarier movies.
He's scary without all the...
I'm not saying he's not.
But
he's also boring as fuck.
Why is he boring?
Dude, some of those movies were boring as shit.
What about the slasher movies you grew up in was deeper in depth? They were boring. It's the same shit.
It's
the same regurgitated shit.
You can.
Guy puts on mask. Guy goes on vicious rampage. Guy gets killed at the end by a girl. It's always a girl, by the way. You ever notice that? It's always a damn girl. All the guys get killed, and it's always a damn girl that kills Jason or Michael Myers.
Jason's an idiot.
Jason's a zombie. You can't.
He's an idiot.
I didn't say he wasn't an idiot.
That's why.
He's also the fastest. He's also the fastest speed walker ever.
Yeah.
You ever notice?
He can make space disappear quick.
Jason with his he can run down a fucking.
Well, he's on skates. He's a hockey player.
He can run that. It's true. He is on skates.
He's on skates.
Never see. You hearing all these nuggets you got to get from us? This is the stuff you're picking up tonight. Think about that. Jason Voorhees, fastest speed walker in the world.
Dude, but to me,
but hockey player on skates.
So to me, let me tell you a movie that is more creepy, suspenseful, and now it's not a slasher movie. It's more of a crime, mystery,
suspense thriller.
Stir of Echoes.
What's Stir of Echoes? I never heard of that.
It's a Kevin Bacon movie.
It's a Kevin Bacon movie, and I've never heard of it.
It's outstanding.
Is he the main guy?
Yes.
What year did it come out?
Stir of Echoes. I don't know, mid-2000s.
It's been out that long.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of it.
It is freaky as hell.
I got to see this movie.
Yeah.
You have to look this up before.
Stir of Echoes. You
say it. I've never heard of this movie.
I'm telling you, it's Casey and I watched it. I think when we were probably 20, so it's probably been out since 2000 because we watched it at her parents'
That's a generation.
Yeah. But I'm telling you,
I've never heard of this movie.
It's the most freaked out I've been watching a movie, like in terms of
suspense.
Yes, in terms of hair standing up on the back of your neck. It's happening to me now because I'm remembering when the story comes together, and it's just oh my God.
Let me see this. Oh my God, that is him.
It's a great movie, dude.
Stir of Echoes, thriller, horror. Dude, 1999?
1999. It's a great movie.
Dude, that was when American Pie came out. The first one.
Not a great movie.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes, it was.
Overrated.
Great movie.
I mean, I always thought it was funny, but everybody around me loved it, and I never loved it.
Tom, you're just a contrarian by nature. Everybody loves it. You're not going to. That is true. Everything someone loves, I tend to disagree.
No.
Well, I see your point there, but not really.
I don't think so.
Or you're just playing just don't see it.
If I don't see it, I don't see it. I would not say I'm a
Wait, was it
contrarian.
before 1982? Yeah, I don't see it.
For the most part.
Holy shit, I'm so mad at myself because I'm actually a big Kevin Bacon fan, which I'm assuming you are as well.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so I've always liked Kevin Bacon. I always thought he was underrated as an actor. And City on a Hill, which that proves that we're...
Dude, it almost makes me not like him. That's how
good an actor he is, because you hate him.
He plays a scumbag.
He plays a scumbag of
so
scumbag.
well.
Yes. And
it's
that's
just
the mark.
Oh, he's so sleazy.
Yeah, that's the mark of a good actor, though. You hate them. Like Heath Ledger's, you're like, that's
You look at
that's how good he was.
And they're just like, ugh.
Yeah, that's how good an actor. Kevin Bacon's an underrated actor. Anyway, so
You see
1999,
it?
I'm just reading also, it's a supernatural, it scoffs at, he scoffs at it until he lets his wife's sister put him into a hypnotic trance. Oh, for Christ's sake.
Dude, it's good, man. You should watch it.
Upon
tonight.
waking.
Don't read it. No, don't,
What?
don't read it.
I want
be completely surprised. Just go into it blind, because that's how I went into it.
You had no
idea what it
you
was.
knew nothing about. You didn't even know if it was a thriller or a horror movie.
I don't think so. Casey and I rented it. I mean, I'm sure we looked at the box, but I always, whenever we used to go to Blockbuster, this is crazy. We're talking about Blockbuster.
I remember that when Blockbuster mattered. Doesn't it?
When we used to go to Blockbuster, if we'd start reading the back, like if I started liking it within the first sentence, I would be like, all right, I don't want to read anymore.
Because you didn't want to know anymore.
Because I didn't want to know anymore. Because
You knew enough from the first line.
Well, if I did.
Were you right every time?
No. But I'm saying, like, if we were in the theater and a trailer for a movie came on before the movie, and it seemed good right off the jump, I'd start going, la, 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 la. Because those trailers give away 70% of the movie. And I always hated that. I don't want to synopsis.
You think a trailer...
Sometimes it gives away too much.
All right, well, you didn't say that. You said all that. All right, you implied. All right, so
A
sometimes,
lot of those trailers you see, it's just like
there
the
are
whole
some.
movie, and I'm just like,
I agree. There are some.
I liked it from that first clip. You could have stopped.
I agree. Well, they don't know that.
No, they do. They're dumb.
They don't know what's going to catch some. You just said something that you might catch your attention on the first clip. Someone might not catch until the fourth or
They're
fifth.
trying to spill the beans before the goddamn movie. They need to pick 1 or 2 or 3 good parts and flash them with some words in between. Now move the hell on. Because if it's good, I'll go watch it. I don't want to watch it in 30 seconds.
I want to I want to get an opinion from the people on this, because it just sounds like an opinion you would have. About how
I think there are a lot of people that don't want it ruined.
No, but I think some trailers give up too much, but I don't think it's all of them. I don't think it's even close to half of them.
Oh, I think it's at least half.
I don't think it is. But I think there are some that do. To your point, I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying that
Okay, why are you arguing that?
you brought it up.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I was just saying I hate
you said that.
when freaking trailers.
You brought up the whole when we're at a Blockbuster,
Right.
And I read the first. You started this whole
Okay,
thing.
but you're gonna like. What are you like fighting on behalf of the trailer makers?
I'm saying that
You're
there are.
like, I don't agree. I think maybe 20% say too much about the movie, but it's not half.
You
sir.
brought it up, and I never thought about it before.
I know.
So upon
All I'm
thinking
saying
about it,
is,
you made me think about it.
Why be a contrarian on that point?
I'm not why, because I don't agree with you.
But like, why even disagree on that point?
You made me think about it. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't even know where you were going with it.
You know, I don't think it's half.
Well, because now I'm thinking about it. Because you're saying that, I'm like, wait, is that true? And then I start to think about it.
It is true.
Well, you forced me to think about
It's
it.
true. Believe me.
I don't think it is.
It is.
I think some of that is true.
Your
I think on
your
some.
memory's been messed up. It's true. Completely true.
Anyway, okay, real quick. Hold on. So scores. We're going to close this area. Oh, let's close with football. We were on football. We're up on these tangents. I know you guys love so much. Anyway, hold on. Let me see here. So it is. I'm sorry. Rather, where's the score here? Let's see. We're in the third quarter. We're in the fourth quarter. It's 13-13. Donnie. Go to Donnie. At the end of the third. End of the third. Oh, quick hockey update. Bruins 3-0, 5-3 win over the Florida Panthers. 3-0. Bergeron got to the goal. Quick hockey update. There you go. Boom. Hockey for the night. Sorry, Craig. Season's still too early. Still too early. All right.
Dude,
Anyway.
Yankees game got postponed.
To tomorrow?
I guess.
Afternoon?
I don't know.
Wow.
I know the Phillies play game 1 with the Padres tomorrow night.
Wow.
So it probably is early.
That's crazy.
That's really crazy.
That's crazy. So, real quick, current standings. parity is a beautiful thing. Because even in a division as top-heavy as the NFC East, you've got 3 teams separated by 2 games. So, and one of them 6-0, one of them's 5-1, one of them's 4-2. Okay, and then in the AFC East, you've got a 5-1, a 4-2, and 2 3-3s. I mean, that's what everybody thought the AFC West was going to be, and what the NFC West used to be. So, well, maybe it will still be that way again because they're all within 1 game of each other. They're all 3-3 or 2-2. So who knows? The bottom line is you got a lot of good battles going on here. Really, is there anybody running away with the division right now? No. Buffalo 1 game ahead of the Jets. AFC North is a tie. Tennessee is half a game up on Indy, 3-2, 3-2-1. And then you have Philadelphia 1 game up on the Giants. Minnesota 2 games up on Green Bay. So that's the biggest division lead is 2 games from first and second. That's pretty crazy when you think about it. Pretty crazy. What?
I'm sorry.
What are you looking at?
I'm sorry. I'm reading Twitter that is absolutely blasting the MLB and Rob Manfred and the Yankees for how they handled this weather situation tonight.
Okay, what are they saying?
Because they're saying gates were open at 5 p.m. They came on, and announced at 6:20, hey, the game's going to start in a rain delay. And then there was no other communication until 9:35 when they said it's postponed.
3.5 hours?
And then somebody said...
People stood in the rain?
Look, well, I don't know. I don't think they stayed in the seats. They went in,
cars
in the concourse.
Okay.
And people, there was reports of, like, places running out of food and shit because all people could do was probably eat and drink.
Walk around, eat and drink.
But then somebody posted, this person's name is Mark Gooden, I just walked by the TBS broadcast booth during the rain delay, and Bob Costas was reading a book to Ron Darling titled The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. That's hysterical. Oh my God, that is so funny.
I guess Bob Costas is really, holy shitballs. I wonder if he's going to come up on Sports Talk tomorrow. This is becoming a big deal, Bob Costas. His inability to just call a game or watch a game or do anything, Oh my God. Oh, no. Wonderful.
That made me laugh.
That is so funny.
But like somebody goes,
you have a drink.
this is dumb.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, so at the end of the day, we've got, we are 6 weeks in here. We'll preview week 7 on Wednesday. But if you think about the league right now, the biggest deficit is 2 games in the NFC North. 2 games, 5-1, 3. Everybody else is winning a game of first place, and then in a lot of divisions it's tied. So every team is basically, with the exception of Carolina, I guess, because even the Redskins are not out of it. I think Carolina's really the only team that, if you look at our fan base, is just to throw in the towel now, it's probably Carolina.
What are they? The Commanders are 2-4.
Yep, but they just won.
Carson Palmer just broke his finger, needs surgery. But that brings
Carson
in.
Wentz.
What did I say? Carson Palmer. They wish he was Carson Palmer.
They wish he was good. He was good. He was good, wasn't he? He was a good pro. He made about 4, but he was good, Carson Palmer.
When he was in Cincinnati before somebody broke his knee, remember that? That was bad.
That was it.
That was their year.
Yeah. Carson Palmer was no joke.
But yeah, Carson Wentz just broke his finger. However, it will bring in your man crush, Taylor. Don't call me Corona Heineke.
Oh, God.
Heineken.
Is it Heineke or Heineken?
Heineken is the beer.
No, I know
Heineke
that. What's he?
He's
Heineke, right?
Heineke. That's pretty good, right?
Look, yes. Hey, look, I was saying all along he wasn't the problem. So,
but is he better than Wentz?
Well, I guess we're about to find out.
I think in that offense he might be.
I guess we're about to find out. So, because Wentz going to be out for at least 3 weeks, most likely. That was a bad injury. Did you see that?
Well, he's got to get surgery.
Yeah, that was a bad injury.
I think he broke his ring finger.
Yeah, that finger looked pretty messed up. Looked bad.
So that hurts them. But yeah, you're right. Who else stinks?
Other than Carolina. I mean, well, the Vegas Raiders are 1-4. They've been in every damn game.
They feel like they should.
They shouldn't be 1-4. They've lost every close game ever. And they're like, do you realize Baltimore has had, in 6 games, they've had 6 double-digit leads in the second half, and they've blown 3 of them? That's like historically bad, because their defense.
Who did they blow the bad one to? Was it Miami?
Yeah, they were 3. They were over 20 points.
Or was it the Jets?
No, it was over. No, that was Cleveland.
Jets came back on Cleveland. Same weekend that
The same day, yeah.
Baltimore.
But with Miami, it was like they were up 24 points, I think. Like over 3 scores going into the fourth quarter.
It was 30-something to
17.
to 17.
No,
or
14.
maybe-
It was 35 to 14
Yeah.
is what it was. Yeah. And that was just.
That was an embarrassment.
And the Dolphins won the next week, beat Buffalo.
Yeah.
So the Dolphins were looking like the best team in football.
I
And
kind of feel bad for the Dolphins.
I do too, in a way. I do, because that's you don't want to see a team lose like that.
No.
You don't, because because there's always that elephant in the room, and it's a legitimate one.
I heard somebody say Waddle got hurt after he fumbled.
Is that right?
You see, he had a bad fumble at the end of that game, Jalen Waddle.
Yes, I did.
Miami was going.
Oh, that's
in to
right.
score.
Yes, he was the fumble. Yes.
I mean, they were down 4, I think, right, 24-20, and he fumbled.
Yeah, Minnesota ended up being the play.
That ended the game.
That ended the game. Yes, because they had a chance. Yes, I remember that.
We'll see.
How about they say how bad his injury was?
No, I mean, he's still showing healthy, so maybe not. I was watching a video from Frank the Tank. Remember the redheaded guy that goes crazy about the Mets? He's a Dolphins fan, too.
Oh, God.
So he was posting a video after
I
that.
can't imagine the
He's like-
freaking.
He's like, the Mets are out, the Devils are dead, and the Dolphins are dead before Halloween.
Well, the problem, Frank, is that if he comes back, they are not dead. Far from it.
Yeah, Tua had them running.
They
man.
were the best team, I thought, in the AFC. Because they beat Buffalo. They beat Baltimore and Buffalo back to back. They beat Baltimore at Baltimore.
That Buffalo win was a weird ass game, though.
It was, but that's
not
how you.
taking anything
But that's
away
how
from
you
it.
beat Buffalo.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
You have to be smart enough to understand you can't stop their offense from moving or getting yards. What you can do is hold them to field goals, and if you do that, you got a
Well,
chance.
if you're Miami, you can do that.
Well, I'm saying they have them. And then
Has anyone else beat Buffalo? They lost another
no,
game,
just
didn't they?
that's it. No,
They're 5-1.
they're 5-1. They beat Baltimore late because Baltimore went for it on fourth down, and Baltimore in that game had a 20-10 lead against Buffalo.
When does Philly have a big game?
Wasn't Dallas just a big game? Well, they were missing.
Well,
their
no,
starting
but you're
quarterback.
telling me
They
like,
missed
that
their starting
wasn't
quarterback.
shit. So like,
Well, there was their second string quarterback.
that's why I'm asking. When do they have a big game?
Oh, hold on, let me see. This week, which is week 7.
Steelers, that's weak.
That who they're
Texans after that, that's weak. Commanders after that, that's weak. Colts after that.
Colts are
some
3-2.
Decent defense. Packers.
Matt Ryan won Offensive Player of the Week. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he threw for
Packers
3.
after that, not. If
Yeah,
you
we don't know
beat
what
them,
they are.
I don't care.
We don't know, yeah.
Titans after that, if you beat them, I don't care. Giants after that, if you beat us, I
Well,
care a little bit.
They're 5-1,
Yeah.
but that stands to be a real game.
Bears, then Cowboys, then Saints, then
Don't they play you twice?
yeah.
Where's the second one?
Last game of the season
In where?
in Philly.
In Philly. So you got them first in New York. You got to
Yeah.
beat them in New York. Okay.
You think the Giants could beat them?
Yes, I do. The Giants can beat anybody in football because they do the 2 things you have to do to win. They run the ball, and they hold you to field goals. Actually, they do the 3 things. And the third thing is they don't turn the football over. So you don't give your opponent extra possessions. And if it's a talented one, you better damn well not give him remember Bill, like in Green Bay, Bill.
Dude, did you know the Giants got their first interception
I know.
last weekend?
Crazy. But the thing, they hold them to field goals. You can get yards on the Giants, but you have a hard time in that red zone getting touchdowns.
Yeah.
You have to have you have to have some serious weapons, and even then, you're not guaranteed.
I'm
to get
starting to
touchdowns.
learn while watching the Giants not to get too upset as I see chunk plays happen in the
Because
middle,
they're gonna
in the
happen.
middle of the field.
Yeah, 'cause it's gonna happen.
Because once they've been getting people
Inside
near
the 25.
20,
Yep.
they've tightened up
They tighten
and
up.
forced field goals. And a lot of times also when they get to the 40, they push them back and keep them out of field goal range.
Yeah. See, when the team that
Which has been nice.
and it pains me to say this, but it's true, so I got to be fair. The guy that invented this defense was Bill Belichick. And when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl in 2001, this is what they were doing. And everybody would drive people nuts because they would go 20-20 like that. But then at
you
the
couldn't
end,
do anything.
field goal, or they panic, and because the Pats would be up 10 points, and they'd go for it on 4th down and get nothing.
Yeah.
So you could get to the 20 on the Pats, and after that,
Well, when you think about it,
and the Giants
you
are
should
playing
be able to play better defense
in a
with
smaller area.
a 20-yard field as
Well, yeah,
opposed
you
to
can
a
you can condense
80,
the
right.
Yeah, you can do a lot in that. Yeah, you should, but a lot of teams aren't.
I
Good
know
at it.
a lot of teams
They don't.
either overthink it or they get
Well,
play
they
tight.
rely on their talent. They just man up, and if you man up and the
Yeah.
other guy's better than you, then
Yeah.
you get beat in the red zone.
Yeah.
And if you had God, that's where Rob Gronkowski was such. No one No one in the history of this game could cover Rob Gronkowski in the red zone. I have never seen a defensive player that could cover him in the red zone.
Yeah.
Not one. I don't care. And I love LT. He ain't doing it either because he's got 5 inches on him and he's got hands. Any ball you throw at Rob Gronkowski, he catches it. If he gets a finger on it, he fucking catches it. I can count on one hand the number of drops I've seen from Rob Gronkowski his entire career on one hand. Yeah. That's how good he is. And the Giants had a guy like someone back in the day, Mark Bavaro, who he wasn't as talented as Gronk, but if he got his hands on the ball, he caught it. He caught it 99.9% of the time. Okay, and that's why the Giants were so successful, especially in the red zone, because they had a guy like Bavaro, and Gronk was just a bigger, faster version of him. So I mean, the thing is, but if you don't have guys like that in the red zone, and your point, you can a
little excited over here.
I haven't seen him in a while. They. What do you call it? Oh, BBD.
It's an object.
BBD. Anyway, the bottom line is if you don't have a guy like that in the red zone and you have a defense that is well coached, that knows how to condense the field, you're kicking field goals. Or you're going to panic, and you're going to force a throw, and you get a turnover or you're going to get nothing. So
yeah, to me, you either have to have big athletes in the red zone.
Yes, you do.
Like Gronk. Or somebody big on the outside.
Well, yeah. A big outside, like a DK Metcalf
exactly.
or a guy
somebody you can.
Yeah, you have to have a 6'2", 6'. Or Adams, Devontae Adams is like a 6'3" dude.
And you have to have some sort of imagination and creativity in your friggin' play calling. I think that's where I've seen the Giants. Maybe that would be one of the things I like most about these Giants.
That double reverse that ended up in the tight end's hands.
That's what I'm saying.
That was Charlie Weiss.
They're doing more of that.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden
the game's fun again. Hey, holy shit!
They're in the red zone. They bump Daniel Jones out to the side.
Yeah. And Saquon runs the Wildcat. You know what's going to happen?
And it's working.
You know what's going to happen eventually? He's going to throw a touchdown pass.
Yeah, no doubt.
I guarantee at some point this season, you mark my words, they keep doing that. And the defense, Saquon Barkley is going to throw a touchdown. He's probably going to throw it to Danny Dimes.
I couldn't remember if one of the backs threw a pass this weekend or not, but that might have been a different game.
Philly Dallas?
No, I was thinking about Giants.
Okay.
You're saying did it happen in Philly?
I think somebody else. I don't know if it was that game, but I think there was one.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe
I don't know. I don't remember who it was though.
But you're right. Eventually, that Wildcat will open that up.
Well, because they'll suck the second level in because they know what they think. Here he comes again, and then somebody slips behind him, and it's a touchdown pass, which eventually will happen.
Yeah.
If the Giants
I think they did a fake double reverse yesterday.
Oh, really?
Where it was
so the first guy kept it.
No, he faked reverse to this guy, faked reverse, and Danny had it the whole time.
Or he did a naked boot.
No, he turned around and threw it. So both the backs went like this.
He threw a touchdown pass.
I think he did.
He rolled out. I saw that. Yes, it was a double. Yes. He went like this.
It's a fake double.
He went like that, and then he went. He's a right-handed quarterback. Here's the other thing they did. They rolled him out left. Usually on a play like that, you want to roll the guy to his strong side to throw it. They rolled him left, which completely threw the defense off. So the guy he threw it to in the flat, there was nobody near him because the whole defense went right going, why would he go that? They threw everybody off because they wouldn't roll a quarterback out to their weak side. And he made the play. Yeah. And he sold the fake so well, everybody shifted. So
I couldn't tell what was happening.
I remember that
on TV, I was kind of like, who's got the ball?
But what you don't see, unless you're looking right at the corner of the camera, is the defense is going like this. Because everything is the flow is going to the right, and he ends up bootlegging left. He took 3 steps. Guy was so open, he's like, holy shit. He just threw it. Like,
that might have been a Wandale. I don't know if that was a Wandale Robinson catch or not.
Might have been.
Because it was a guy wide open in the flat, and he actually almost ran out of bounds. He had to cut back in.
Yeah.
Corner.
And he's a tight end, isn't he? He was a tight end.
Oh, well, that was a different play.
Okay.
If you're talking about where he hit the guy in the middle.
No, on the flat.
On
the flat. That was a tight end, wasn't it?
Wandale Robinson.
Was it? Okay. Well, but again, this is the thing about having a running game and having tight ends.
You can fake.
You can literally, the Patriots, the touchdown to Hunter Henry, the first one, by the way, the Patriots have been hammering Stevenson into the right side of the line. They run the play fake. They have Hunter Henry lined up on the left side. It's an eye. So he goes in like he's going to run block, and then he breaks off and just goes that way. And when he caught the ball, there was nobody in the camera. Like, there was no defender in the camera. It was just grass, and I think it was an official when he caught it.
So everybody was going to the right.
Everybody was going to the run, to the right. And Zippy, perfect fake, froze everybody, moved out. He turned around, and it was like a pitch and catch. It was like it was him and him on the field, and there was nobody else out there. And he just led him right into the end zone. It was perfect. But when you have tight ends, and in a running game, you can do shit like that.
Yeah.
which is why in the red zone, the Patriots on paper should be way, way better because they've had that personnel all year long, and the Giants are starting to realize they might have personnel like that.
Maybe.
They definitely have
Well,
a
I
running
feel
game.
like when you have a quarterback that can move, that makes you better in the red zone. Period.
He's a dual threat.
Because if they just
a
want to
real-
lock everybody up,
Yeah, he
okay,
can still
boom,
run.
I'll go.
And that's where Danny Dimes, that's the one
Yeah.
thing Danny Dimes has always had.
Yeah, but
He's always been an
But
athlete.
it's almost been like this year. It seems like he's able to make that decision quicker, maybe.
Or maybe
They're calling it.
I think they're calling it, and the
Yeah.
coach is giving him the confidence. Look, if you see it, just do it.
Right.
Don't think, go.
But they're also
And that's
having,
coaching,
They're
by the
also
way.
having the designed ones. Too,
Yeah, and they
where
should.
It's like
because
you can
he's,
tell he didn't see
yeah.
anything. We called this and it worked.
His ability, and this is maybe what the Giants are starting to figure out. His mobility is an asset, and what they can do
Probably
with
his
it,
best
they
asset.
can use that mobility to get people open and give them time to get open. Whereas before, if he just stays in the pocket, they only have a certain amount of time. By rolling him out, and again, you can only roll a person out if you have a running game to freeze him, to get that rollout. The Giants have the running game to do this. So by rolling him out, he buys an extra 2-3 seconds. He buys the receivers, and the defense is shifting in the direction of where they want him to go. So he's setting up a couple of things with just him being mobile.
Yeah.
Now here's the difference. He had to his point. Now he's got the confidence to it's okay to throw it or it's okay to run it. Whatever you see, you do. If a guy is not clearly open, don't risk it. Put your head down, run it, slide, and that's fine because you know what that does? That avoids turnovers. He doesn't feel like he has to throw it in there every damn time.
Yeah.
And that's smart.
For the most part, though, it does seem like he's looking at different receivers.
Oh, he's going through his reads. No, he's literally his head. He's doing this.
Sometimes he locks
He's
in.
doing. Well, if he know, well, here's a good quarterback will lock in only if there's that bump, that cushion, that 10-yard cushion, because then he's like, he'll just look at it like, I'm going to throw it right now. The guy's, I'm not going to give it. You're going to catch it in space, and then it's you and him one-on-one. That's the only time a quarterback, and he'll probably what a quarterback will do is he'll come to the line, he'll see it, and he'll look at the guy, and he'll just nod, and then he'll look back straight ahead, and that's telling that guy, forget what we just called. It's coming right to you right now. And I saw Brady do it a million times, so I know. In fact, Dan Marino used to do it. Dan Marino was the first guy I saw do it. Actually, he would come up with Duper and Clayton, and Duper and Clayton were so fast, people would just give him a 10-yard cut. They're like, I ain't bumping around with this guy. It's going to be
Like,
over.
all right, let's pick up 7.
Yeah, so Dan Marino discovered, like, because Joe Montana really is the guy, that Niner offense invented this with Rice. Dan Marino started going, holy shit, why am I, just turn around, just turn to me, throw it, boom. And now you got 7, it's like a running.
7 yards.
It's like a running play. Now you're 2nd and 3.
Or you make that corner miss and you get,
And he's gone. If you got, he's gone. Which is the other thing about the Patriots. Tyquan Thornton, the Baylor burner. The Baylor burner was back 2 touchdowns.
Really?
1 receiving, 1 rushing.
Use the weapons.
This is the other thing that Mac Jones didn't have, was him. And I've been telling people he was the fastest kid at the combine, 6'2 and a half. He's a big target, good hands, elusive. And I'm like, wait till this kid gets back. First game back. Actually, I'm sorry, second game back because he had a touchdown. He's got 3 touchdowns in 2 games.
That's good stuff.
Mac Jones didn't have this kid. The tight ends weren't even. Hunter Henry was the only tight end that was even in the offense when he was in. Now, Jonnu Smith had 3 catches for like 53 yards or 60 yards on Sunday.
We saw a big one.
The big one. We saw the big one, right? Yeah. So I'm like, you put those kids into play, and you think Mac Jones is not going to figure this out? Mac Jones has a better arm.
Use the weapons that you have.
You have to, and I don't know why they're not. And look, if it's a question of, and look, I've thought of this, to be fair to Matt Patricia, if you're changing the offense to get all those, because there were times I get mad at Matt Patricia because he didn't use all these guys either. So maybe what the Patriots are doing, and I didn't think of this until literally yesterday when I was watching the game.
Baby spooning?
Well, because they want to get it there, but it's a process. When you have that many weapons, think about how big your playbook is, or how big it could be by the end of the season.
I guess I've always looked at the Patriots like it didn't feel like they had that many weapons. I mean, this year. But you've always said it, but every time we watch a game,
They've
I'm
had
like,
3 different, I said this 2 weeks ago, they've had 3 different 100-yard receivers.
No, you're right.
They're the only team in the NFL that's had 3 different. Think about the offenses in this
Did
league.
anybody hit 100 this past week?
For receivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Diggs for Buffalo, 148.
No, I'm talking about
The Patriots? I don't know. I didn't look at it. But he had somebody else because he had over 300 yards passing. So somebody was close.
I was just wondering if it was the Baylor kid because that would make 4, right?
Yeah, it would be 4. Well, he's a quarterback, but they had 3 different receivers. They had Devontae Adams.
The Baylor burner's a quarterback?
No, he's a running back. He didn't have 100 yards.
Oh, I thought he was a receiver.
Yeah, he's a receiver. No, the Baylor. His name is Tyquan Thornton.
He's a receiver?
Yeah, 4.2 speed.
You just told me he was a cornerback.
No,
And then you said he was a running back.
No. He caught 1 and he ran 1. Is what I said. They did a reverse, an end reverse.
Right. I'm saying
Yeah.
it
He's
would
a
be cool
receiver.
if he was the one with 100 yards because that would make you 4 different receivers.
Yeah, well, he didn't have that many opportunities. But
so he didn't have 100 yards receiving.
No, he didn't. But if you think about it, he had 2 touchdowns and like 4 targets.
Awesome.
So the point is, when you have that many weapons, you're going to spread out the targets too.
Yeah.
So this is the thing.
You got to weaponize.
Well, you got to make them cover the whole field. The Patriots put up 38 points, and they probably could have put up 50. Okay, if they converted on 3rd down a little more. So, but the bottom line is,
38%. You think it would have taken them?
They put up 38 on the road.
No, but I'm saying with 38% 3rd down, taking them to 50.
Probably. I think they were around 30%, a little over, maybe 31.
Maybe 31.7.
Well, they were. To be fair, they weren't getting a lot of 3rd downs because they were running the ball down their throat. Like that dude Steve Ramondre Stevenson. He's a bull in a china. They got 2. Him and Harris. They just have 2 legit running backs. And this kid is he's just a bigger version of Harris. And he just runs people over. Yeah. First touchdown was a 31-yard off tackle on 3rd and 10. That was a great play call by them. 3rd and 10, they're back in a dime. He out of a shotgun, he calls a draw to this kid. 30, and they come up to adjust.
You think Zappy audible to that?
I don't know what. It looked like a design play because they didn't move. They came out. They had 3 wide, but he was under center. Mm-hmm. So 3 wide, lone back is Stevenson. So it looks like they're going to throw. There's 3 wide and the tight end split out. And all of a sudden, he goes back. He doesn't even look up the field. Turns around and hands it off tackle. And this kid, because they had the tight end, boom, and he busts it clean. And they were coming up to the line because, holy shit, they're going to run. But they all came into the middle. 2 blocks, boom, boom, he was gone. 31 yards.
Okay, Patty Matt.
Yeah, Patty Matt. So
that's always so
I got to be fair.
Call a run on a 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Is always risky because when it doesn't go right, you go, what the hell are you doing?
He caught him in the wrong defense.
Yeah.
And again, this is a feel. He had a feeling. You know what?
But that's why I'm asking. I wonder if it was. I think.
Zappy I'll tell you why I think it worked. This is where I give Matt Patricia credit, or whoever called this fucking play, because of the time that was left in the half. I think Cleveland believed, and I understand that there's no way they're going to run it because they could run out. They have to use their timeouts, and they don't want to waste time. They're going to put it in the air. So they thought there was no threat of a run because of the situation at the end of the half. Because we talk about this all the time. You got to throw it if you only have a certain amount of time left, and you don't want to risk running the clock out. So they didn't think there was any chance on 3rd and 10 the Patriots were running that football. And I didn't either, because when they ran, I was like, what the? And then, boom, he broke. And I'm like, holy fuck.
Because if they hadn't gotten that, you would have crushed him.
I would have crushed him. But that's why I don't call the plays. But it was a feel.
Right.
This is the thing. Matt Patricia, it felt like he had a pulse for what that defense was doing, and he caught him in the right situation. And that's part of when people say play calling is an art, that was an example of play calling. You said it yourself, it's a feel. There's the analytics, and then there's a feel. That's exactly what that was.
Yeah.
He saw a situation. They were doing this on every day. He's like, you know what? We're gonna catch him in this one. We're gonna run it right off tackle. They're not gonna be ready for this. And it was a feel, and he guessed right. He saw something in the first half. Every time they were doing this type of defense, like, you know, if we get them in, we're gonna call this. Because that was a designed play. They didn't audible to that. That was a designed play.
Yeah.
So I got to give him credit for that because
credit's where credit.
Yeah, if we're gonna be fair, anyway.
All right, we're over a buck.
Segment 1. Oh my God! All right, we're back. It'll be a quick segment 2. Baseball.
It's postponed. We don't even need to say anything.
That's true. It is postponed. All right,
I mean, the only thing we're talking about is the Dodgers and Braves getting eliminated.
Well, the NBA starts tomorrow.
That's true.
There is 2 games tomorrow night. The Celtics and Philly are one of them.
Celtics and Philly.
The Knicks are playing on. The Knicks open up Wednesday night on ESPN. Did you know that?
Who do they play?
I want to say it's the Pelicans with Zion. I think.
Pelicans with Zion, but without Ball, right?
Is he still out?
I think he hurt his ankle or something.
We'll check this out. We're gonna come back. Quick segment 2. We'll talk a little hoops, a little 10, 15 minute, and then we're gonna call it a night.
Yeah.
Okay.
10, 15 minutes. That's bullshit. That's the biggest bullshit ever.
That's a bunch of bullshit. You're such a bullshit.